is up? Welcome to today's lesson. I'm so excited. This is video 1. There will be more to come. Plan on doing 1 a week minimum. So, today I've been thinking a lot about what lesson I wanted to start off with, okay? Because if you're here, you're someone who wants to change, you're someone who's looking for motivation, you're someone who's looking for ideas, just like a way that you can move past whatever barrier it is that's stopping you, okay? And obviously, if you know me, you know I struggle with food allergies and I focus on food allergies and nutrition and fitness, okay? But today, we're focusing on lifestyle changes because regardless of whatever food allergy you have or whatever struggle it is that you're facing with your nutrition in general or your fitness levels, just to simmer all of that into one main topic, it would be a lifestyle change. Okay, how do you make a lifestyle change? How do we make lifestyle changes? How do we get the ability within us to progress forward, to move forward? Today we're going to talk about that. We're going to discuss it a little bit. Post any questions in the question comment bar. We'll talk about it. We'll just figure this out so that you can move past whatever challenge that you have, okay? I don't care what area of your life, whatever it is that's in your heart that's like bringing you here today, whatever area that is, okay, this little diagram that I'm going to be able to show you guys is going to work for that. It's going to work for you. It's going to work for multiple areas of your life. So lock in, key in, and let's do this. Okay, so we're going to start off, just going to show you a little diagram, okay? So, let's say you are here. Okay, this is you. We'll give you a face. I don't know what hair you have, like regardless, could be spiky, could be long. Whatever it is, that's you. Okay? It's hard to see. Give me a second. Okay, this is you. You're starting off here and you want to make a change. Okay, this change that you want to make, you're like confused about it, you're a little bit like, there's something inside of you that's like, this is uncomfortable. Okay, and if we're looking at the lineup of your life, I want you to imagine all of the events in your life that have happened as little chains. Okay, just like every little decision that you've made is one link in this long chain. Okay, and we're going to draw it out. Okay, chains. Here, you're kind of holding on, you're like confused, you're like, I don't know what to do, like I have a decision to make or I have a change I want to make, but I'm confused, I don't know what to do. Okay, so you come to this spot and you're like, okay, line's been pretty straight, but now I have 2 options to go. I could either remain the same or I could change. Okay, so for now, we're going to say that the top line is you choosing to stay the same. Okay, and the bottom line is going to be you choosing to make change. Same. Okay, same and change on top. I don't know if you can see that very well. Yeah. So regardless of where you are, right, all of us come to the point in our life where we have to sit and we have to just like figure out if we want to change. And when we have 2 options come, or like 2, right, whenever we have a decision, there are 2 options. It's like either we're going to do it or we're not. So if we're not going to do it, right, usually we don't do it for multiple reasons, like we're tired or we don't want to make a change, it's uncomfortable. It's easier to stay and remain the same. Like we've heard that 1,000 times, but that doesn't mean that gives us the motivation that we need to change. Sometimes we just don't have that mental stamina, so I'm here to help you grab that mental stamina. So when we're making a change, kind of like right when we're here, our thoughts and our thoughts and feelings, those dictate which route we take. So if you're thinking, I don't really want to change, it's going to be hard, you're obviously going to take the route to stay the same. But in your mind, if you're like, no, like I'm so pumped, I'm ready, like let's do this, you're going to take the bottom route and you're going to change, okay? So I'm just going to write down some of the thoughts and feelings that you might be having if you're going to take the route where you stay the same on the top or the route on the bottom where you change. Very simple. So thoughts and feelings. here, and here. Thoughts and feelings. It's obviously hard to read, but you guys know what's there. And I'll post a PDF that has this written out as well. So if you're on this, on the top, just like imagine in your mind, okay? So if you're someone who's like wanting to make a lifestyle change, for example, you're someone who's supposed to be gluten and dairy free, or you're supposed to be gluten free or dairy free, like let's just like categorize any food allergy, you're supposed to be doing it, you're supposed to be living this like whatever way, okay? In your mind, if you don't have that desire to change yet, which is probably why you're here, right? If you don't have that desire to change yet, what thoughts are you having right now? Like what feelings are you having inside of your body? And listen to your body, because physically your body will tell you like what's going on that's stopping that from happening. Okay? So I'm just going to tap into me, like my life and like what it's been like for me. And I know the times where I've tried to make a change with my diet, but like I haven't. The reasons and thoughts and feelings that I've had is like, you know what? I like staying where I'm at because it's easy. Okay? So it's comfortable. One of the feelings that I have a lot is just fear. It's just like fear of making a change, like fear of making a change or fear of rejection, fear of it not working, fear of like failing. That's a huge thing. Like, are you scared of failing? Because like I've been there too. Sometimes, actually all the time, there's so many things I'm afraid of and like just afraid of failing at, because it's like, why try if I'm gonna fail? That's such a common thought process that we have. So there's no shame in any of this. There's no like beat downs for any of this. Like, we're all in this together and we're all trying to make changes together. Okay, so this isn't like a beat yourself up thing. This is just like, hey, let's look at your life. Let's just like analyze it like data. Let's just like take some feelings out of it. Let's connect to our feelings but not judge them. Let's take any judgments out, because that's not what we're here to do. Okay, we're here to love ourselves, and we're here so that we can grow, and we can grow together and learn together, and so that both of us can just progress to who we're supposed to be and who we want to be. So I'm going to write down fears. Up here it's easy, just easy in general. To stay the same is easy, but here's the thing. If you stay the same, and think about an experience in your life where you've wanted to make a change but you didn't, we've all been there. Isn't it so true that like there's a little voice inside of you that's like, darn it, like I kind of wish I would have changed. Like, I'm kind of glad I didn't, because it was easier and that would have been really hard, but like I kind of still want that. Like, we're human. Each one of us want more in life. Like, we always have a desire to like grow and become better. We're evolving humans. Like, humans evolve. We evolve. You evolve. I evolve. That means we're constantly trying to look for how we can grow. Okay, so there's always this little voice that's like, oh man, what if? Okay, so I'm just gonna write a question mark up here, and that's gonna symbolize what if. Okay, now let's go to the bottom. So if you change, if you're like waking up one morning, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the gym every single morning at 5:30 a.m. Okay, how do you feel right now that I just like said that? Okay, uncomfortable? Because I do too. So it's uncomfortable. It's scary. Okay, uncomfortable. It's scary. It's hard. Let's just like it's gonna suck, kind of. Like, our mind's naturally gonna be like, oh, like, you want me to wake up at what time? You want me to like go work out? You want me to go see people like what time in the morning? Like, that just seems hard. Okay, that's going to require a lot of energy. It's going to require a lot out of you. So we're just going to do energy and planning. It's going to require motivation. Okay, all of these things. Yeah, it's ultimately, we're just going to summarize all of that into high action. Okay, so over here, we have high action. And up here we have low action. Obviously, if something requires us to not act as much, it means it's easier. Of course we want that, guys. Like, that's the way we've been trained to be. Like, we've literally been trained to be like, you know what? I don't want to change, so I'm going to sit here, okay? Or I don't really want to grow. I'm just going to stay where I'm at because like, life is easier. We're trained to like look for the easiest way out, okay? We're trained that way. Think about technology. There's always updates. There's an update every single day on one of my apps on my phone. I'm like, I don't even know how to use this anymore, okay? But I know it's going to be easier somehow, I'm pretty sure. But really, so our minds are wired to look for the easiest way out, okay? In your workouts, if you're not mentally focused and locked in to your goal and what you want to accomplish, your brain's going to be sitting there thinking, what's the easiest way out? My brain's always thinking, what's the easiest way that I can make a healthy meal, because I don't want to put in the time required to make a healthy meal, okay? We avoid the things that require more out of us, okay? And that is in an effort for our survival. Like, that's how we were made. That's how we're just like trained and wired, because we always are trying to find what's the best way that I can survive and like have enough energy to tackle everything that we're supposed to do, because the way that life is, there's always so many things demanding time from us, okay? And that's okay. So it's okay if you're looking for an easy way out. We all are. It's okay to have these thoughts and feelings and not want to change. That's okay, right? Because ultimately we think if we change, if we decide to like adjust to this new diet, if we decide to adjust to this new exercise program, we just feel like that's going to be restrictive, right? Like, oh, if I am like not going to eat sugar anymore, that's so restrictive. Like, I'm not going to be able to have freedom, okay? That's what I want you to tune in. What do you feel like in regard to like a change that you have to make? What freedom do you feel like that's going to take away from you, okay? So naturally, we think that if we stay the same, like if we're not trying to make a change with how we're eating, okay, naturally our mind is like, oh, good, freedom. That means that I don't have to take anything away from my diet. That means I don't have to like add exercise programs. I don't have to waste money to go to a gym. I don't have to give up time to go to the gym. I don't have to give up sleep. I don't have to give up anything. That's like how our minds think, okay? We think that up here, we think that this option is going to be free. Or at least we think that that's going to give us the most freedom. Okay, and I'm like, why I'm here today is to show you this. To show you that this is how we think, but we forget to look at the long-term results of each path if we were to choose each one, okay? So we're going to make this quick and wrap it up soon, so don't worry. But I just want you guys to think, okay? So if we're staying the same, let's think about, I just personalized this to you. Like, you can pause the video and write everything in, like, for your thoughts and your feelings, like up here and here. Like, stop the video if you need to and plug in your specific thoughts and feelings, because this video is going to be beneficial to you if you personalize it to you and if you're thinking and you're invested and locked in. So lock in if you want to change, and it'll happen. So if we're staying the same, and for right now, just like, I mean, I'm a health coach, so right, my automatic like mindset is thinking like nutrition and exercise. Okay, so if someone, and it can be personalized to whatever you're going through, like if you're trying to make a lifestyle change with your business or spirituality, like mental health, whatever it is, this applies to all of it. Okay, so if we're making a change with our diet and nutrition for right now, think about where you're going to be in 20 years if you don't make a change. So if there's someone, say they're kind of eating however they want, they're not exercising a whole bunch, what is that going to lead to? Okay, from past history, we know that that's going to lead to increased blood pressure. Okay, increased blood pressure, it's very common, right? Obesity, health challenges, even extra money. You're gonna have to, like, right, if you're having these challenges, you're gonna have to put more money towards pills and medication to fix all of these things, doctor visits, okay? So you're spending more money on all of these things. So we're going to say decrease in money, decrease in the quality of life, like if you're not moving your body, if you're not exercising, your joints are going to become very they're not going to be flexible, like they're just going to be stiff, okay? You're not going to be able to move like you once could, okay? So low mobility. Okay, and if you're not on top of your health, your fitness, nutrition, and your wellness, right, your just quality of life is lower. Let's say your mental health is going to be lower. You're going to be more sad. So decreased happiness. Okay, so if this specific example and these examples don't apply to you, what I want you to do is pause the video right now, and I want you to think about your specific life, where you are. If you were to envision yourself in 20, 30 years down the line, and let's say you don't make any changes to help you progress, like every single time you choose the easiest route, and that's fine, choosing the easy route, like there's nothing wrong with that, okay? This isn't like a right option and a wrong option, like both are equally valid, okay? One of them obviously is going to help you get to a better place and be like happier, improve your quality of life, okay? But it's not like a right or a wrong. But imagine yourself, okay, where are you? What do you think, what kind of challenges do you think would come from remaining consistent with how you're living right now, okay? So pause the video if you need to. Now we're going to go to the other route. So say you wake up one day and you're like, hey, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to change. I'm finally going to make the change that I've been wanting to make. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. Finally making the change, okay? What is that going to lead to in 20 years? Okay, so I wake up and I'm like, hey, I made a plan for me to act. I'm gluten and dairy free, so I'm going to stick to my gluten and dairy free lifestyle. I am going to exercise. I'm going to wake up every single morning. I'm going to exercise. Obviously, these changes take time, right? But we're just simplifying it. Okay, but I choose to make small, consistent changes my whole life. Okay, 20 years down the line, where am I going to be? I'm going to have good health. I'm going to feel better about myself. Like, I'm just going to feel good knowing that, like, I'm healthy. That really improves my mental health. Just when I know I'm making healthy choices, I feel better. So, improved happiness. Improved relationships. For me personally, whenever I know that I'm treating my body right and I have a good relationship with myself, I naturally have better relationships with those around me as well. That's how we all are. So you're going to have improved relationships with yourself and with others, knowing that you made hard changes that led to a happier version of you. Okay, you're going to be able to save money on doctor's appointments or visits, like whatever it is. Like, if you weren't to change, you're going to have to put money trying to go back and fix whatever problems that arose from like taking easier routes and easier options, right? You're just gonna have to spend more money. And although I'm still gonna have to spend money to keep my health building, I'm gonna be able to spend significantly less money on the route of changing, because I took precautionary measures to make sure that I wouldn't be stuck with a bunch of problems down the line. Okay, I'm just gonna save money. Like, a monthly gym membership is, I guess unless it's like lifetime, because those are really expensive, but worth it, I think. But like, putting money towards a monthly gym membership is like totally worth it, if you ask me. Okay, I'm gonna be happier. Whenever you make changes, naturally as humans, we tend to like magnetize towards people who are like-minded and similar to us. So the more you change, the more you're going to start connecting to people who have similar mindsets. Okay, so I'm just going to write like high vibe tribe. That's what I call it. That's what I heard from someone else, and I like love that word so much. I think it's so fun. Like, high vibe tribe. You're with people who get you, who know you, who understand you, and you feel so good when you're around them. Okay, high vibe tribe. We're almost done, don't worry. Okay, let's take a look. So if we're looking like over here, we think, right? We think that like this route up top is going to be more free than the bottom one. Okay, that's our initial mindset. Like, I don't have to change. I don't have to restrict. I don't have to make changes that are going to like make me feel like I'm giving of myself, okay? But like, let's look long term. What part of the long term results of this are like it's freedom, okay? Like, take a moment though, really. What part of the long term results of not changing equals freedom? What part of that is something that you want in your life? Like, what? No, we don't want that. We don't want that. And if it happens, okay, it's like we're not going to beat ourselves up for it. This isn't like a beat yourself up day. Like, this is like, hey, let's just look and think about our choices and think about our day-to-day choices and see how we can better ourselves every day and improve every day. Okay, this is a positive growth zone. Hey, but truly, like, that just isn't freedom, guys. Like, having to give that much of yourself isn't freedom. Okay, but down here, like, are you kidding me? We all want those things. We all want that. Like, having a high vibe tribe, that's so cool. We all want that. Okay? Having good health. Yeah, having good relationships. Of course, feeling successful, feeling happy, feeling like we did hard things, we did them well, we made changes, and we were successful. Okay? But truly, right? Like, we all want good, happy, joyful, loving lives, okay? That's how we are. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to think that we're all on this earth regardless of our skin color, regardless of our backgrounds or our childhood, regardless of our futures, regardless of where we are at. We are all connected and that we're human beings, okay? Like, we're on this earth connected to a higher power. Like, we're all trying our very best, and we're all so different. But the fact that we're all connected and rooted in the fact that we're all human beings, like, how cool is that? And how cool is it we're all just trying to make the best lives out of the things that we've been given, okay? Out of our past, we're all just trying to do our best with the lives we've been given and make the most out of what we're doing, okay? So I know that you've seen this, okay? And just because you see this, it doesn't mean that you're automatically like, okay, Katie, I'm ready to make a change. I'm ready to choose the harder path and the harder lifestyle. Okay, I understand it takes a lot of mental power to get there, and my hope today, right, from you watching this, is that as you kind of study these things out in your mind and you like envision the future and what it can look like for you, and you envision what the future could look like if you weren't to make any hard choices, and kind of like just choose the route of staying the same, and that static route, right? I just want to help you guys envision this so that whenever you come to a point in your life where you're at like the fork in the road and like you have to make a change, I want the change and the decision to be made easier for you. I want you to be able to be like, you know what, I already made the decision a long time ago that I was going to choose the harder route because I know that that's going to help me in the long term, right? That's going to be what is most beneficial. Okay, so my last thing that's going to be really quick, and I want to show you guys, okay, the 3 super simple, easy, killer 3 steps that you need to make a change in your lifestyle or make a behavior change, okay, is this. And I'm going to draw it out and diagram, give it all, like, if you're audio, visual, whatever learner, like, here it is. I'll meet the needs of all of them. And when we're making a change, okay, so like say at each one of these here, and here, and here, and here, it's almost like every single time we are in one link of the chain to get to the other one, we kind of have to like open a door. Okay, so let's just draw you. You're right here. You're happy because you're like, oh, like I'm kind of ready to make a change. Like you're not all the way there, but you're like interested. You're like interested, you're involved, like you're thinking about it. You're like, huh, maybe this will be really cool, okay? So there's a question mark, but you're happy. You're like, huh, let's see. So when you come up to a door, like you have to open it, right? There's a doormat. And then the door. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but the mat's just like, you know, you're like standing right in front of the mat. You're not on the mat yet, but the mat has the word mat on it. That's very key. Pay attention. Okay. Mat is symbolic of the 3 steps that you need to be able to make a change. Okay, let's like diagram this out. Okay, 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps. M-A-T. Okay, M-A-T. The first step you need is motivation. Okay, so let's just like talk really, really quickly. If you're making a change, or if you feel like you have to make a change, you're gonna need something deeply rooted inside of you that's gonna help push you to make a change, okay? Like, you have to want it. And that's so stupid, we hear that all the time, but it's true. Like, you have to find your why to make you cry. Like, why are you doing what you're doing, okay? I'm going gluten and dairy free because I was so tired of feeling ashamed, of feeling guilty, and feeling just like overweight, and just like, you know, I just didn't feel good in my skin, and I was tired of that. But more importantly, like, whenever I'm a mom in the future, or whenever, you know, I'm dating and married, like, I just want to be the best that I can be. I want to be the healthiest version of myself so that I can show up for my future kids, so I can show up for my future husband, so that I can show up for me, because I know that I deserve the ability to live my best life. Like, I don't want to have to make my body go through this more challenges than it needs to, okay? Like, I have a lot of challenges day to day. We all have our own challenges, okay? We all feel the same emotions. But I just want my body to be able to have the best possible life they can have, and like my spirit, my soul to have the best possible life they can have, and to be like unity, and just like together in unity and in harmony. And I know for me, in order to have that unity and that harmony and that peace inside of me, like, there's certain things that I need to be doing with my health and my nutrition to reach that, okay? So that's like part of my why. And whenever I think about that, it gives me the motivation that I need to move on to the next step, okay? So the second thing that you need to make a change in your life is the ability to do it. Okay, like, if you're trying to make a change that just isn't possible, like, it's not going to happen, right? It's just like no biggie, but you just have to make it a realistic goal. Like, this has to be something that you can actually do. And it's not like a matter of, oh, do I believe in myself enough to do it? No, it's like, are you physically able? Okay, and the first thing that comes to your mind, that's it. That's it. So if you're trying to make a really, really hard change that you're just like, I just like don't know if I can do that because it's like I don't really want to. No. Like, is your body physically able to do whatever it is that you want to do? Yes or no? Okay. If it's not, think about a different way to kind of like rewire what you're doing so you can still get a similar outcome, just like in a different way. So if you're like a runner and you want to get back into running, but like your knees are jacked, you just like, maybe running isn't for you, right? Like, you just don't have that ability. Like, let's find something else that you can do that's going to give you that same feeling of joy and excitement, like swimming or like bicycle riding, whatever. Like, you can still find other ways that are going to get you the same result. The last step that you need to make a lifestyle change is a trigger. You're probably thinking, Katie, what the heck does that even mean? Okay, let me tell you. So, whenever we're making changes, we need something that's going to remind us to like move forward. Okay, when you get to the door, probably gonna stand over here. Yeah, when you get to the door, it's really easy to like get to the door and you like walk up, you're like, hey, I'm ready, like, let's do this thing. Let's like walk up. We're on the mat, we're getting ready to open the door, and then we're like, wait, those like last minute like little false beliefs that like step in, they kind of shoot in. Like, we start to question, wait, am I capable? Like, can I do this? Am I good enough? Am I, you know, like those deep rooted fears and false beliefs, that's when they come up. Okay, the second before we enter into that door and that new world and that new change and that new step that's going to lead us to like a better future, right? Those things come and we second guess ourselves. And it's okay, like, we second guess ourselves and we're like, oh, I don't think I can do this. And you might be thinking, Katie, like, I don't think that I have what it takes. Okay, and it's okay. Okay, let me tell you, from someone who's been where you're at, like who's felt the same emotions, whether it's like discouragement or just whatever, fear of rejection or fear of abandonment, fear of failure, fear of just like being feared or being afraid in general, like regardless of what it is, like I know and understand that feeling. We all face these fears, we all experience these things, but I'm just going to tell you that it's worth it to do your, like, just do your best, okay? Move forward, progress forward, like open that door, make that change, okay? Make that change. And one of the best ways to make sure that you move forward past those fears is having a trigger, okay? And that trigger could be someone that holds you accountable, okay? Whenever I'm trying to make a big change in my life, like go to the gym really early, what I like to do when I was first starting, like trying to get in that routine, I called one of my friends. I was like, hey, I'm going to pay you $100 for every single morning that I don't do it. Okay, obviously that's like a lot, and that was stupid, but like obviously I don't want to lose money doing this, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give you this certain amount of money for every morning I don't do it. Will you hold me accountable? Okay, because then the other person doesn't feel like obligated, like they're like, ooh, like I want money, yeah, I'd love to do this. Of course people are gonna like do that if you're gonna give them money, so that's an option. Just like committing to yourself as well, like if you really want something, just dig deep, okay? Write down on a sticky note what you're trying to do, what change you're trying to make, what goal you're setting. Write it down on a sticky note and post it around your house. Write it down on your mirror. It sounds like so typical, and you're probably like, yeah, I've heard that 1,000 times. Whenever we hear things so many times, we often disregard it, but what I'm telling you right now is don't disregard this. This is important. There's a reason people say it so much, but take it from me. Having note cards and sticky notes and things on my mirrors, even though it's like so cheesy and I was like, this is stupid, I can't believe I'm doing this, okay, it's actually been one of my most favorite things to write down on a sticky note what I'm trying to do, because I see it every day. I envision it. It's not just in my mind. I've written it down on paper, so I've sent it out into the universe. I'm ready to make it happen. I'm ready to make that change, okay? And that trigger is going to send you straight back up to your motivation. Okay, this is kind of like a whole cycle. Okay, your motivation, your ability to do it, and a trigger. It's a cycle, and your trigger needs to send you back up to your motivation and your why, to why you're making a change and what you want and your goal long term and what's trying to happen. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. Just as a recap, the main things that I want you guys to learn, or like that I've hoped you guys have like remembered and can like take from this video, because there's been a lot of information, but the main two things that we talked about was the fact that there is actually freedom in change, not vice versa. We often think that there's freedom in not changing and not having to make a change, and that's easier, therefore it's more freeing in our lives, okay? But the truth is there's freedom in change, because the long-term effects of going down the route that like requires a bit more out of us results in more freedom in our future. Okay, so we have to look at the long term. There's freedom in change, okay? Freedom in change. And the second main thing is MAT. Just remember MAT. Okay, M for motivation, A for ability, T for trigger. These are the 3 steps that you need to move from link to link in your chain of your life. If you guys like this, just stay posted. I'm on Instagram and on Facebook. I'm going to keep releasing videos just to help encourage lifestyle changes, encourage good, happy motivation, encourage a safe space. If you're interested in learning more, I'm also going to have more videos on my Facebook page. Check me out, Katie Rogers, Kickstart Katie. Word is spreading, so I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you guys next time.